Alright guys, Zypho here, and this video today is all about the Amstrad CPC 6128, which is apparently 30 years old this month. This month being August of 2015. From what I know, this beauty was first released in America in August of 1985 in an attempt to crack the American market, of which it wasn't successful doing. And it was only a few months previous that the 664 was released in May, which was like it had a disk drive, but it only had 64k of memory. This one has 128k of memory, and much better for it. And it was, I think it was, from what I can read up, because it's really hard to tell and find out what dates exactly things were released. This came over to Europe in roughly about 6 months after apparently the 664 was launched in May, which will make this November-ish time when people in the UK could have got their hands on the 6128. It obviously had flopped in America, didn't do very well, but it did fantastically over here, especially in France, and you'll find a lot of French games, a lot of disc games from France, and utilising 128k of memory. Now obviously Amstrad went for a bit more of a business-like look for the machine. It looks pretty sleek, it looks pretty nice, obviously not as colourful as the 464. Some may say it maybe looks a bit dull, but it actually looks pretty sleek and pretty nice actually, especially for the time. I think this is a well designed case. Now this is mine. I think I got this when I was about 9 or 10 years old from a very kind friend of the family. I think her name's Mrs. Wilder, I believe. I think she was a music teacher at my primary school. And when my parents went round to her house to have a dinner party or just to go around, I was allowed to go straight upstairs and play on this, and eventually she just let me have it, which was great. I've been using the 464 for years and I loved it to bits, but there was something about this. I remember, I think it was Winter Games was one of the first games I played on this machine at that house, and I was just amazed how quickly it loaded, how great the graphics were, and what you could do with it. So yeah, and yeah, I loved just how quickly the games would load, how they looked. And I just started programming at the time as well, and it was really frustrating saving your games to tape, especially if they had any errors saving it or loading it. Obviously discs would be a fantastic way to program, and what a stunning machine it is. It still works to this day. I've had to repair the disk drive. I made a video about that actually, which I think will come out after this one. Showing you how to repair these disk drives, because the actual disk drive itself is pretty good, solid piece of machinery. It's like the little rubber belt inside that goes, or the head might need cleaning inside, which is expected after 30 years. This all works fine. The keys work great. It's a good keyboard. It's definitely a good keyboard for its time. It's still not the greatest of keyboards. I think it's spring-loaded. Everything's been compacted into one rectangle, including the numeric pad and the cursor keys there. So yeah, just on the back here we've got, whether you can see it on the camera, but we've got the volume there. There's an internal speaker. It isn't very good. You could do with like a stereo out, which it does provide somewhere. I forget, where's the stereo out? There's the stereo out. Got one joystick port, and you've even got a tape port there, which is pretty good. Just continue on the back, got the power switch, slot for a second disk drive, which have been handy because Amstrad went with the 3-inch discs. I'll show you one in a second, rather than the 3.5 inch. And a lot of people go, oh, why did they do that? Why not the 3.5 inch disc? Well, at the time, in 1984-85, the 3-inch discs looked like the format that was going to be the winner, I believe. That's what Alan Sugar's reasoning was. And I think they were slightly cheaper as well. I do like the 3-inch discs, they're double-sided, so it's not all bad. It's just a shame that 3.5-inch became the preferred format. It would have made things a lot easier these days anyway, certainly. There you've got the monitor port there, and you've got 5-volt DC power in there, which will come from the monitor. This is the 12-volt DC out. This powers the internal disk drive. We've got an expansion port there, and we've got a printer port there. So your printer plugged in there, your multi-phase 2, if you remember them, going in there. Beautiful. And yeah, there's the underside of the machine. Amstrad CPC 6128, 128K microcomputer, blah de blah, made in Korea. And I've got, oh, it says version B underneath, so this is revision B. I didn't know there were different revisions. I assume they did, because they did that with the 464. So yeah, this is just to say happy birthday to the Amstrad CPC 6128. I'm now going to take you through just some of the key disk games and software that you would have wanted on your 6128 and may want to look at now. Anyway. Okay guys, this is what you would have been greeted with when you booted up the 6128 for the first time. The usual blue screen, yellow text, the basic prompts with ready to do whatever you wanted. So when you had a few discs that came with the computer at the time. You had a copy of CPM Plus, disk, like another disk operating system program. Yeah, disk operating system, I think it was really. CPM Plus, there it is. And some programming utilities. I think there was another disc with Dr. Logo on it and some other bits and bobs. There was also some games shipped with the machine. There was actually 2 discs. Hang on, maybe it will focus and show you that text or not. I can't find the other disc, but on this disc there's actually quite a few games. You get 3 games on this side. Kabbalah, The Prize, and Super Test 1, that's Daley Thompson. And on side 2 you get Tuba Ruba, World Series Baseball, which is actually quite good fun, that, and Shape and Sound, probably something for the kids, that. But the killer game, or the killer app, I suppose, at the time, was this, Sorcery Plus. I think every machine and console has needed a killer game. You know, the Game Boy had Tetris. Well, the 6128 had Sorcery Plus, to an extent. It was a very good game for its time. I don't know whether it sort of holds up this to today's standards, of course, in retrospect. It was very good for 1985. And you know what? This is actually the first time I would actually booted this disc up. I never had it at the time. This was bought from eBay. So let's pray to God it works. Okay, that's a good sign. So, little shortcut there. Control up cursor, let's move the cursor back, Control enter, and it will type run for you. Little shortcut there. You can see the drive whirring away there, and the noises it makes. That's looking good. It looks like it works. This game probably hasn't been loaded on an Amstrad in 10 years, 20 years, on a 30-year-old disk drive. It looks like it's all working. That's sorcery. Let's get my trusty codec speaking ready, and let's boot this up. Ugh. Hopefully you can see the screen okay. This camera isn't the greatest in the world by a long shot. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Lovely colourful graphics for the time. Nice sound. Lots of nice effects. pick up things. You're flying around with a wizard. In fact, guys, I'm going to let you into a little secret. I'm working on a long play of this game, or rather actually a guide to beating it, because it's a really complicated game. Like, for example, you need to know that you can only use swords to destroy those yellow wizards, unless you get a sack of spells or something. Oh! But this was like the killer game at the time, and now it may seem surprising, but yeah, sorcery was the original sorcery was a very high-selling game, and this is sorcery plus, basically the same game plus some extra screens and levels and a big boss encounter at the end to fight through. And this was awesome stuff at the time. I didn't enjoy it playing this years later down the line, because I have to try this on emulator, and yeah, and I wasn't impressed. I didn't know what the hell you're supposed to be doing. It's a really complicated game to work out, but I will be doing a special video, doing a long play, and probably hopefully a guide on how to beat this game with everything you need to know about it. We'll see, but let's move on. I think what I'll show you is my Amstrad disc collection. So yeah, these are all my disc games, and I've tried to collect the discs that I really want to play, and also collecting compilations. Oh, whether you can see back there, there's like a best of Elite compilation double disc thing there. That's really, really good. I think this one here is like one half of it, volume 2. So I like getting compilations, because Elite did some great games. You've got Ghosts and Goblins on there, Paperboy, Bombjack 2, and Battleships. Yeah, there's a recently released game on disc, only a few years ago. Well worth getting Orion Prime. And actually some recent disc releases. What we got there? Got Star Saber, Relentless Sub Hunter, Cyber Chicken. So very proud of them. You can see videos, I think all of them in my channel. Or actually Relentless I've got to do. Some old boxes here, old style boxes. Friday the 13th. That's pretty cool. We'll leave that there because it gives a gap. Vixen. I've got a big poster of that. That's upstairs on the wall actually at the moment for a bit of a giggle. I love these boxes. An old James Bond one. Look at this. Look at the size of this. They did vary in sizes back in the mid-80s, definitely. I've got an odd size here for Pac-Land. What a strange case that is. But yeah, they interest me. So I definitely thought, oh, I'll get them. They look a bit odd. But otherwise, the boxes were usually of either this size, which is like the double cassette boxes, and Ghostbusters is a great one to get, because this is a special Amstrad disc version for the extra memory and disc drive. And it actually says there in the bottom corner, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the glare away and it's reflecting, enhanced for Amstrad disc. And it actually is a lot better game. It's a lot quicker moving. You have the Zool ending as well on the game. The graphics are slightly enhanced. The only problem is it loads every time you move to a location. It flipping loads and it's annoying. Sorcery actually loads quite a lot between locations, but you just don't notice it. It's done it much better. Anywho, so Ghostbusters, that is certainly a disc game you want to track down. It's took me a while to find actually. It went quite cheaply. Surprised by that. Some other disc games there. Nothing too much to write home about. 1942 on disc, that's pretty good. Operation Wolf, Dragon Ninja, Hostages, and Sim City. They're two 6128 disc games you want in your collection. Afterburner, Lemmings, that's a must on disc. Solid Gold, I think this is another compilation. Yeah. Gauntlet, Ace of Aces, Leaderboard, Winter Games, Infiltrator. Yeah, some not bad ones on there, especially Gauntlet. Konami compilation here. It's sort of upside down at the moment. You've got Jailbreak, Green Beret, Yeo Kung Fu, Ping Pong, Yeo Kung Fu 2, Mikey, Jackal, Hypersports, Charlene's Road. Oh, I love that. Nemesis. That's not a bad little compilation. Platoon, that was the big disc game at the time as well. Elite, oh yeah, this is quite a prized possession as well. The gold edition, I think it even has like a book in there, like a novelization. Yeah, there's the novelization. I think the disc is a little dodgy on this one actually, so I'm not going to put the disc in. There you go. But yeah, Elite. There's another compilation. I like compilations on discs. Got a lot of value for your money. Barbarian, Renegade, IK Plus, Super Sprint Rampage. A US Gold one with Rolling Thunder, Gauntlet 2, 720 Outrun, California Games. Total Kit Clips, a big box. Remember the Freescape, solid 3D thing. Right. One prize possession. This is Prehistoric 2 on disc. That is a really sought after game. Very hard to get hold of. As is Blues Brothers on disc as well. Nice huge box. They're getting towards sort of PC size boxes there. We're going to boot some games up in a minute, I think. Oh yeah, I got Micro Pro Soccer on disc. Titus the Fox on disc. That another big box, another tough one to get. Shinobi's brilliant. We know Turrican's brilliant. That's great to have that on disc. RoboCop, Prince of Persia. That's another game on disc worth a lot of money. Lemmings is worth a lot of money as well. Monty Python, some sports compilation there. Domok compilation, the TNT, load of guff on that. But I've got another Imagine compilation, Green Beret, ER Kung Fu on stuff. Yeah, that one's got Turbo Outrun, Chase HQ, Hard Driving. Oh, yeah, Batman the Movie, Ghostbusters 2, RoboCop, Indiana Jones, Maximum Action Extra. God knows what's on this. Oh, Swiv, Turrican 2. Important that. I'm looking for that on disc, I think. On its own. SD Dragon and Night Shift. Otherwise, yeah. Oh, why won't that go back in? US Gold Sega compilation, Shinobi, Golden Axe, E-SWAT, Crackdown, Super Monaco Grand Prix. This one here. Let's take a couple of them down. This is very rare and worth a lot of money. Purple Saturday. What's this, you may ask? It's kind of a multi-event sports game, but set in space, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So, Purple Saturday. This is definitely a disc game to go out and hunt for. Right, okay. Let's look at an impressive one. I think this is a French game. It's got some gorgeous graphics. I'll zoom in a little for you. There you go. Hopefully you can see what's going on in this. Right, okay, and you're racing against your opponent and you're flying past asteroids whenever you can. And I'm doing terrible here because I'm going around the wrong way, around the markers. It's like a slalom. Yeah, so there you go. Very impressive game. Well worth looking out for. I think we shall move on. Okay, what else have we got? Rick Dangerous 2. Well worth getting on disc. Gremlin Chart Attack 1. I think that's got supercars on there and some Monty Mole games, I think. Rainbow Islands you want on disc. That's worth a bit. Chase HQ. A Final Fight on disc. Quite good to get that. Bonanza Bros. Turtles 2, the coin op. That is a good score getting that one. What else? Nigel Mansell's World Championship. One of the very, very last ever disc games ever released commercially, alongside Prehistoric 2. Untouchables, Paperboy 2, Midnight Resistance. So quite a good little collection there. So yeah, I've been digging around and found an old box of discs, and in them, I've got written there the X-Files. I think in here is some of the discs of games I wrote when I was about 7 to 8 years old, maybe 9 or 10 or something like that. This one's interesting. This one says blues music, because I remember I did a lot of music on the Amstrad. I think using Boo Tracker, which came on an Amstrad Action cover tape. Yeah, I see .boo file, so I think this is Boo Tracker music. If I remember correctly, I think I tried to rewrite the Blues Brothers music, because I thought the one in the Amstrad game was rubbish. Yeah, I've got menu here. Oh, that's nice. Drawn a little guitar there. Everybody needs somebody to love. Everyone knows that from the movie. Left the volume down. Oops. Okay. Haven't heard this in I don't know, 25 years? And hey, that's not bad actually. It's actually better than the, arguably better than the Blues Brothers music in the official release. Maybe? I don't know. I hope it comes out in the video. Not bad. What else have we got in here? Oh, my basic programs. Bat and Ball, Night, Race, Balls. Some programs. Boo Tracker. Sprite, Night, Balls. Some more. Okay, I think we'll give them a try. I think that's the end of that. And I think there's one other tune here. I think it's the Peter Gunn theme. We'll give that a quick go. Oh yeah, of course this was used on the Spy Hunter game as well. That's a bum note there, maybe. Oh, I think that's better than the first one. Maybe it's better than the theme music in Spy Hunter, the game. Well, I'm impressed by that. I'll put that to one side. Let's find one of my other discs, see what we've got on there. Oh, what's this? Night. I seem to remember that. We'll get off that. Let's hope the disc works. Ball, Night, Loader. God, what's this? Oh, I think we've got a disc menu. I like doing disc menus. Balls menu or Night? Well, let's go for the Night, because I seem to remember something about this. I think it was an unfinished game, more of just an intro. I haven't seen this in 25 years. Ah! Sample speech. Oh, some of my own music. Is that it? Night's flashing. Oh, I remember what I was going to do. I think this was going to be like a first-person perspective fighting game. I was going to use vector graphics as like an outline of your sword, and you'd have a sword fight against him or something. Yeah, I think that's it though. I think it was never finished. God knows what balls was though. I think I was probably trying to make a breakout Arkanoid type clone or something. Balls menu. Press 1 to 6 to run ball programs. Let's try 1. Oh, okay, we've got a bouncing ball. I guess this was like me developing my ball program. I guess that was going to be an Arkanoid or breakout clone. And I think I did it in machine code. I think it was this was my first attempt at machine code, because I got the sprite moving there quite smoothly. What's going on there? Oh, I think that was. I mean, you can see the ball there is animated. But I think that's all it does there. Let's move on. Okay, this looks better. I think this disc looks like it's got some interesting stuff on there. Okay, we can see night there. Oh, we've got bat and ball game, car, high score. Let's go for menu. Balls menu, we've seen that. Night, we've seen that. Car race, haven't seen this yet. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh my god. Okay, I'm using the joystick here. I don't know what I was thinking here. I think I was messing about trying to make a car sprite. And I was trying to see if I can make it jump by using the fire button and move it left and right, and you have to jump over the obstacles. Yeah, absolutely dire, but I think it was just practice. Oh dear. Yeah guys, so that was a little walk down memory lane for me. Thank you for indulging me there and seeing what a young boy got up to on his Amstrad. So yeah, anything else to mention? You may ask what peripherals you want to get. Well, there's really only one that's essential, and that's the Multi-Phase 2. What a fantastic piece of kit this was. It was used to, well, you press this button here and it would freeze the program you've got running at the moment, where there's a game, usually a game, where it's at, and then you'd bring up a menu and you could enter pokes to give yourself infinity lives and other cheats and things like that, examine the game code, dump the game code. Also, it could actually save the current game to disk, so it was really useful when I didn't have the game on disc, but I had it on cassette. I could load it up on the Amstrad via the cassette port and use the Multi-Phase 2 to save it to disc. Brilliant on games like Chase HQ, for example, which loaded the entire game in one load. It would detect if you had 128k of memory and do that. And Robocop was another example. So yeah, this one's looking quite a bit dusty. I'd like to show you it working, but I think it doesn't work anymore, probably because of all the dust. Yeah, so Multi-Phase 2. So yeah, in conclusion guys, happy birthday to the Amstrad CPC 6128. This is one of the games you need in your collection. And just in conclusion, the ones you want are Turtles the coin op. Nigel Mansell. Maybe Final Fight, Chase HQ, Rainbow Islands, definitely. Go for lots of compilations, more value for your money. Remember, it's all about the gameplay. Rick Dangerous 2 you want, Purple Saturday, track that down. Titus the Fox, an interesting game, not the greatest game in the world, but a real good curiosity for the Amstrad. Everyone needs RoboCop. Prince of Persia, that's one to track down, definitely. Elite, Lemmings, Platoon on disc, that was a really big release at the time. One of the first really big disc games, actually. I think it was 1986. And the Ocean made a big fuss about that and being on disc. Oh dear. More compilations. Prehistoric 2 you want to track down. Also look out for, from the same author and around about the same time, Super Cauldron. That I don't have and I'm desperate to get. Blues Brothers. Oh yes, Ghostbusters. The disc version. You want that. Any others? Yeah, Hostages. Sim City. That's a must on disc. Oh yeah, New York Warriors, an interesting one. This one on the other side of the disc, when it was made in the factory, is completely missing all data. They managed to screw that up, so it's missing half the game, and that's apparently on all the discs that we tracked down. Never mind. Oh, of course, yes. And you want to get hold of the new releases on discs, yeah, like Relentless and Star Saber, and definitely Orion Prime. And maybe I think there's a few others out there. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll say a big happy 30th birthday to the Amstrad CPC 6128. Thanks for watching, guys. See you again soon. Goodbye.